Welcome back. In this video, we're actually writing code. I'm going to teach you how variables and data types work. Here is my first variable. var score, that's var, score equals 42 semicolon. I'm creating a new variable called score and giving it the number 42. You can imagine this like a box with a label on it that says score, and you can put the number 42 in this box. If you want to change the variable, you can write score equals and then your new value. The only difference is you don't use var at the start. If you are using var, you're creating a new variable. Once you've created a variable and given it a value, you can then use that variable in different ways. So the easiest example is trace. Inside of trace, inside of the brackets here, you can put anything you want. So you can put hello world, or you can put a number in here, or you can put a variable in here. What this is doing is it's taking the value of score, it's taking whatever's inside score right now, which is 56, and putting it through trace, which means it will print it to the console when I run lime test and echo. And there it is. That's not the only way, of course. Another example is to create a new variable and give it the value of score. We're giving the variable thing the value that is stored inside score. And then you can print the thing. Run the game. And you get 56 in the console. Because 56 came from score, it was then copied from score to thing, and then thing was printed to the console. Now to explain what data types are doing, I'm going to create 4 new variables. Number, I'm going to give it a number of 10, decimal, 10.5, and word, which says hello. You can specify which data type you are using by putting a name of the data type next to the name of the variable. So you do colon and then int. And in this case, you have colon and float. I'll explain these in a moment. And then colon and string. These are data types. Int is short for integer, and variables with the int data type can only contain whole numbers. A variable with the float data type can only contain decimal numbers, and a variable with the string data type can only contain strings, or words, or strings of characters. You can put any of this, any amount of characters that you want in here as long as it's within these 2 double quotes, and that is a string. So now what's the data type of score? The data type of score is actually integer. It's int. And that's because Haxe is smart enough to guess which data type to use depending on the value that you give it. This will only happen when you create a new variable though. You can't change the data type once it's being set. I said that these data types are rules. The reason I say that is because if you try to set a string to this integer variable, you'll get an error. The red squiggly line indicates an error, and if you compile this code, it will throw an error in the console. String should be int. Basically, it's saying you're giving a string to an int variable, and that's not allowed. And likewise, if you try to set 10 to a string, you'll get another error, and it's saying int should be string. So that's how you create variables and data types. I'm going to remove some of this space. The next thing I want to show you is math, everyone's favorite subject. I'm going to create a new variable called result, and I'm going to do 20 plus 10. So just like on paper, you can do plus and minus and multiplication and division and whatever in your code. You can do addition with the plus sign, subtraction with the minus sign, multiplication with the asterisk, and division with the /. And you'll get different results depending on what you put there. And just like in regular math, you can use brackets. So if you do 20 plus 10 divided by 10, it will run this first because it's in brackets. This is called BODMAS or PEMDAS or whatever you want to call it, wherever you were taught. But basically, you run whatever's in brackets first, and then it will run division and multiplication, and then addition and subtraction. It's the same order of operations that you were taught in school. You can also do addition on strings. So if I take words, and I'm going to say hello plus world. And if I trace that, you get hello world in the console. This is called string concatenation. There is no space here. You would get a space by simply adding a space in the string. Or you can concatenate a new string, or whatever else you want to do with the string to make sure it has a space. And there you go. In some cases, you can also concatenate other data types on strings. So for example, I can do hello plus 30. This will actually work. And you can see it says hello 30 in the console. What it's doing is it's turning this number 30 into a string and concatenating it to hello here. So what we've got in the words variable is a string, even though we're using a number. That covers just about everything I wanted to cover. But before I finish the video, I want to leave you with a challenge. I'm going to be adding challenges like this throughout the series. I think they are very, very important in helping you solidify your knowledge, so I highly recommend that you do them. Doing these challenges will encourage you to actually write your own code instead of copy-pasting what I've done. So I'm going to delete all of this, and give me a moment, I'm going to write out the challenge. Alright, I'm done. I've written down a little bit of code and a little note. Yeah, by the way, these are comments. Haxe will completely ignore comments. This doesn't matter, like you can put anything here and it doesn't really matter as long as it's past this /. So I'm using these comments to write notes here. So I've written some code. I've set a variable called score to the value of 42. And I'm printing out the value of result. But your challenge is to change result into something that can print score :42 to the console. The catch here is that you cannot type the number 42 in your answer. The point of this is to use the score variable. I don't want you to cheat by typing in score 42. Don't do that. That's cheating. I want you to solve this challenge without typing 42 in your string. And after you've done this, I have a bonus question, which is to identify which data type is used for this result variable. I'm going to place the answer in the comments, but I encourage you to not look at that answer until you finish the challenge. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.